If you're performing, take 10 breaks a day if you're performing. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a man on a mission. I don't need no permission.
Unstoppable, my friend. How are you? Hey everybody, you're about to watch Kday 99. I'm going to be completely upfront with you. This one's going to be a little bit controversial. We're talking about performance, we're talking about work ethic, and we're also talking about clock watching. Look, I am very well aware that there are certain contractual obligations that employees must meet, but I also work in a high performance environment. And so some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about today might push a few buttons, but what I'd ask you to do is sit with that, trigger, whatever it brings up for you, and yeah, see what comes out, because there might be something beautiful on the other side. Check this out.
She doesn't know if she needs a full day to say everything in front of her.
She's Luke, yeah? Please tell me she is. Does everyone leave at like 5:30 on the dot or something? Pardon?
So I might just give her a quick like a wow call.
I was like, oh, God, you guys must get in at like 6
I'll be able to send her a few links. Give her like
It's more like the herd mentality.
Yeah, it is the herd mentality. Look around, it's 5:45 and no one's here. It's like, I understand if you want to come in early, you want to leave, but it's the impact of the psychology and those around you. And the issue I have with it is the observable behaviour.
Yeah.
It's setting the expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not that I have any issue with people going home at 5:30. I've got zero issue with it whatsoever. But it's almost like, literally, you can see as people are getting closer to 5 o'clock, they're starting to pack up their desk, they're starting to get ready, and I'm just like, when did this creep in? Maybe we need to be more relaxed with that. I don't know. So guys, your sales team leaving at 5:28?
Sorry, what was that again?
Your sales team leaving at 5:28?
Yeah, someone
Whose leadership is that? You've got people not making sales and leaving early. That's fucking bad, man.
Yeah.
Bad. Because I know yesterday there was some in sales, and I went to Sego. I was like, Sego, you know your team are leaving early. He goes, oh yeah, I've kind of noticed that. And I'm like, and they're not making sales. Why are they leaving early? He goes, oh, I really should do something about it. I'm like, why the f am I doing something about it? You know. This is an organisation where we're open and honest. We talk about everything. You see, what I don't want to do is I don't want to talk about you behind your backs in the monthly meeting. I want to talk to your face and go, guys, how do we deal with this? Like, what do we do about it? Because here's the issue. It's not a big issue, but I can see it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying you can't leave at 5:30. They're your contracted hours. You know, that's by law. What I'm interested in is making sure that you get the job done. But if you're new to this organisation and you're not making sales, then my advice is put in an extra 15 minutes every day, because it will be fucking seen. Because if you're not making sales and you're leaving at 5:30 at the 3-month mark, I can pretty much guarantee that's going to be your last day. Okay, and I'm not saying that as a threat. I'm just saying, why would we invest more in someone who's not willing to invest more in us to do the job that they've been hired to do? Now, I'm open to discussion. I'm open to being told, Kerwin, that's unfair. That's fucking against the law. But to me, I'm just going, this is what feels right for me. Does this make sense? I'm not trying to say this is what you have to do. I'm trying to say there's an expectation that you've got to get your work done and do your work.
I feel like it's in the contract. When I joined, I was like, shit, like I'm not qualified to do my job in 8:30 to 5:30. I need another 2 hours to bring the value that I'm expected to give. Yeah.
Because to me, it's not about the time. It's about it's about, as I said, it's about, are you getting your work done? You know, are you focusing and getting your priorities done? And just going, I'm going to make one extra call. One extra call over 5 days is 5 extra calls. Okay, that's an extra 20 calls a month. Okay, that's an extra 60 calls in the quarter that is going to potentially, in some cases, mean the difference to do you have a job in 3 months or do you not? And that to me, like, there's nothing more embarrassing as a salesperson if you're aiming for $100 a day and you clock in at 97 dials. Like, that's like, are you f***ing kidding me, bro? Like, for reals? Yeah, and they're in probation. The money's in those 5 extra dials as a salesperson. I'm a salesperson. You know, I've been a salesperson my whole life. And I can tell you the difference between me and every other person I ever worked with is I was the one, like my motto is when I go to the gym, it's just one more rep, and I'll do the one more rep and I'll go, okay, now just one more. And then I took that ethic to, I'll just do one more dial. And I do one more dial. I'll just do one more dial. If you guys like working here, if you like the environment, then there's got to be, and then by the way, this isn't just being directed towards sales, this is being directed towards everybody. If you've got work that needs to be done and you're leaving work because it's 5:30, then that to me, that's just not right. Well, look, there's a catch-22 because we actually started to institute encouraging people, especially the video team, to go home early because they were burning out. Yeah, work-life balance is, and it's interesting that you say that. That's often a sign of a high performer. Most high performers find it difficult to balance work and life because they're so invested in what it is that they do. There is a work-life balance issue here, but there's also a work ethic balance at the same time. So I'm not trying to work you to death, but if you've got, if you're leaving at 5:30 and your work's not done and you're feeling great, that's awesome. but you have a responsibility that you're being paid to actually, that you've got an obligation to fix. So I know there's a balance there. I don't want to be burning people out. If anything, that's why we give people their birthday off. We've started instituting half-day Fridays. We're starting to institute, sending people home if they are looking like they're burnt out. We enforce that everyone needs to take at least an extended break, at least every quarter, just to ensure that people are taking care of themselves. So please hear where I'm coming from, but I really want to have a conversation.
Look in the mirror, like, are you living the values? Like, are
yes.
you focusing on impact, and are you over-delivering?
Fucking nailed it. Thank you, Matty.
Are you getting things done, and are you focusing on results?
Are you completing your tasks? Are you hitting performance benchmark? Are you not just getting by? Are you smashing it? Because just getting by is not how we do things here. We smash things. I don't aim to just hit targets. I aim to smash targets. There are certain people, and I'll tell you, it's fucking rare, that can come in between the hours of 8:30 and 5:30 and they just crush. But it's rare, but it's not impossible. The key thing is passion. The key thing is loving what it is that you do, because if you love what you do, you'll pursue it harder than things that you don't. This isn't about 8:30 and 5. This is about the mentality. This is about, I'm just here to 8:30 to 5:30. As I said, this is not about you. This is not about you. This is not about you. This is about the culture and the expectation of what's fair.
I think you made a very good point. I think it was a very good conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. It was very healthy.
I just have a good question.
Please, fire away.
How do you measure people performance in your company?
Performance in their role, in terms of not only their ability to hit their priorities, but their ability to go above and beyond, and innovate and find new ways to add value above what it is that they're asked to do.
Which has been good because stuff's been simmering overnight.
Yep, good.
And we thought, would it be good to readdress at family lunch tomorrow?
What is it?
Oh, just again, like reframing around performance, because everyone's going to be talking about it today.
Yep.
Matthias said it's probably good to have some discomfort for a day.
Yep, let them sit in it. Yep.
And then tomorrow at family lunch.
Yep. Okay, cool. I just don't want this to end up being the start of something bad.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be vinegar. I want this to be turned around the right way. The only reason I had to do what I did is because it wasn't handled at a leadership level. That's the only reason. If it was handled at a leadership level, that conversation wouldn't have even taken place. So I want to empower you guys to be conscious of how you manage that, and then we don't have to, at a company level, it doesn't even become an issue. I just want to thank you guys so much for participating in the planning session the other day. It never should have got to the point, in my opinion, where I should have had to do that. It should have got to the point where you all, as leaders, should have held either yourselves or your teammates accountable to what's the base level expectation. But please understand, when it comes to this culture, we're not a clock watching environment, we're a performance environment. And performance is about you get the job done, you focus on results. And if that means you stay back an extra 5 minutes a day to do that, you do that. But if that means that you're able to do it, like Lou is able to do in most cases within 8:28 to 5:30, then by all means, if you've got the performance levels to do that, go for gold. But the greater the performance, the greater the flexibility. If you're performing, take 10 breaks a day if you're performing. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to understand what your benchmark is and what your aspiration is. And whatever goal you hit, please understand that becomes the starting point for the next goal. You should never be happy with just hitting the same benchmark every single time. That's what performance is all about. Performance is all about breaking through to the next barrier at every opportunity, and you guys have that. This is really an opportunity for you guys to choose your meaning. And at that event on Wednesday, you guys really had a great opportunity to choose what it meant for you. And it didn't have to be something negative. It could have been something really positive. Look at both sides. Don't just look at one side. Put yourself in the seat of an owner and go, right, if I was the one as the owner running this company and I was the one that was shelling out and paying all the bills, and I was trying to handle a scenario just like this, how would I have handled it? Maybe you would go, well, I would have handled it fucking heaps better. Well, credit to you. Give me the feedback and tell me exactly what you would have done. Because if you know you're performing, that conversation shouldn't have hit you in any emotional way whatsoever. But if it did hit you in an emotional way, and you do think it relates to your performance, then sit with that for a little bit and just see what perhaps you think you can do within yourself to bring to the team, from a work ethic and a standards and a cultural perspective that, will make you feel better about this conversation. Yeah. Just so you guys know, I was trying to rattle the cage, but at the same time, it's what comes out of rattling the cage. So when you rattle the cage, shit falls out. I want to sort through the shit now so that we can now put the cage back together. And I appreciate the understanding that you guys bring to the conversations we have at large, because I know sometimes I can bring a bit of edge. My intention is always to serve you, and I hope you really do feel that in your heart, because that's what I'm here to do, not just with the greater world, but also you know, with what we're doing in here. Because after all, guys, we are making a massive dent in the world, like a big one. We're saving lives, we're changing lives, there's not many opportunities you get in your life to impact people at a global scale like this. And finding cultures like this is not, it's quite rare, so enjoy it while it's here. Because there'll be a point in your life where it won't be, whether that is at old age or whatever, and you'll be reminiscing about these times as some of the best times of your life. And some of you are like, are you serious?
I'm a man on a mission.
Told you it was going to be a little bit controversial. Keen to hear your thoughts. Whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. But what I do want to know is, what is your perspective? What do you think? As an owner, as an employee, let me know your thoughts below. Really keen to start a conversation.
Mission.